Have you ever walked into the kitchen, stopped for a moment and wondered, why did I come in here? Or struggled to remember a familiar name that used to come to you instantly? Moments like these can happen to anyone, but as we get older, they often leave us asking an uncomfortable question. Is this just normal aging, or is it the beginning of something more serious? Here's what many people don't realize. Some brain changes are a natural part of getting older, but many everyday habits can either support your brain or slowly work against it. And according to many doctors and researchers, one of the most important habits for protecting brain health doesn't require expensive supplements, complicated exercises, or special equipment. In fact, it begins within the first hour after you wake up. Stay with me, because later we'll also talk about a surprisingly common morning mistake that may leave your brain feeling sluggish before your day has even begun. It's something millions of people do without giving it a second thought. Our brains are remarkable. Even later in life, they continue to adapt and form new connections. This ability, known as neuroplasticity, simply means that your brain can keep learning and adjusting throughout your life. While this ability may not be as strong as it was in childhood, it doesn't disappear. That's encouraging news, because it means that healthy daily routines can still make a meaningful difference. The morning is especially important because your brain is transitioning from sleep into full activity. During sleep, your brain has been busy performing essential maintenance. It helps organize memories, clears away waste products that build up during the day, and prepares your mind for learning and problem solving. When you wake up, the choices you make can either support that process or make it harder for your brain to function at its best. So what is this morning habit that many healthcare professionals encourage? It's simple. Start your day with movement. Not an exhausting workout, not running miles, just gentle, regular movement soon after waking up. This might be a comfortable walk around your neighborhood. It could be stretching your arms and legs for several minutes. It might even be light gardening, easy balance exercises, or walking around your home if the weather isn't suitable. Why does something so simple matter? Because movement does much more than strengthen your muscles. Every time you move, your heart pumps more blood throughout your body, including to your brain. That increased blood flow delivers oxygen and nutrients that brain cells need to work efficiently. Think of your brain like a busy city. Roads need to stay open so supplies can reach every neighborhood. Healthy blood flow is like keeping those roads clear. When circulation is supported through regular physical activity, your brain receives what it needs to perform important jobs such as thinking, remembering, concentrating, and making decisions. Research has consistently shown that regular physical activity is associated with better brain health as people age. While no single habit can guarantee protection against conditions like dementia or Alzheimer's disease, staying physically active is one of the lifestyle factors linked to maintaining cognitive function and reducing the risk of decline over time. That's an important distinction. Exercise is not a cure, and it doesn't eliminate risk, but it is one of the most well-supported lifestyle habits available. Imagine two neighbors in their 70s. Both enjoy reading, both spend time with family, both have similar medical histories, but one begins each morning with a 20-minute walk before breakfast. The other spends most mornings sitting in a chair, checking the news for an hour or more before moving around. After one day, there may be little difference. After 1 week, probably not much either. But over months and years, those small daily choices can add up. Consistent movement supports not only the brain but also the heart, muscles, balance, blood sugar, and overall independence. This is one reason doctors often emphasize habits rather than quick fixes. Healthy aging is usually built from thousands of small decisions repeated over time. Now here's something that surprises many people. The goal isn't to move harder, it's to move consistently. Many older adults believe that unless they're sweating heavily or exercising intensely, it doesn't count. Fortunately, that's not true. For many people, especially those over 65, moderate activity performed regularly can provide meaningful health benefits. Even 10 to 15 minutes of walking is far better than remaining inactive all morning. And if you gradually build toward the commonly recommended goal of at least 150 minutes of moderate physical activity each week if it's appropriate for your health and approved by your healthcare professional, you may support not only your brain but many other parts of your body as well. Of course, everyone is different. Someone recovering from surgery or living with arthritis, heart disease, or another medical condition may need a personalized exercise plan. That's why it's always wise to speak with your healthcare provider before starting a new routine, especially if you've been inactive or have concerns about your health. There's another reason morning movement can be so valuable that many people overlook. It helps establish the rhythm of your day. Our bodies have an internal clock called the circadian rhythm. You can think of it as your body's natural schedule. It influences when you feel awake, when you become sleepy, how certain hormones are released, and even how alert your brain feels throughout the day. Morning movement, especially when combined with natural daylight, may help reinforce this internal clock. Many people find that they feel more awake during the day and sleep better at night when they have a consistent morning routine, and good sleep is one of the most important foundations of healthy brain function. Later in this video, we'll talk about one simple morning habit that pairs perfectly with movement and may help your brain perform even better. We'll also discuss a common mistake that many older adults unknowingly make before breakfast, one that can leave them feeling tired, unfocused, or mentally sluggish for much of the day. But before we get there, there's another important piece of the puzzle that deserves your attention. It's something so ordinary that many people don't even think about it, yet it plays a surprisingly important role in how clearly the brain functions each morning. One of the easiest ways to support your brain each morning is something that many people accidentally put off for hours. It's staying well hydrated. After a full night's sleep, your body has gone several hours without drinking water. Even if you don't feel thirsty, you may wake up slightly dehydrated. That doesn't necessarily mean you're seriously lacking fluids, but even mild dehydration can make it harder to think clearly. Some people notice they feel tired, have trouble concentrating, or develop a headache before they realize they simply haven't had enough to drink. As we get older, this becomes even more important. The body's sense of thirst often becomes less reliable with age. In other words, you may need water before your body sends a strong signal telling you to drink it. That's why many doctors encourage making hydration part of a regular morning routine. Imagine starting your day by opening the curtains, taking a few gentle stretches, and enjoying a glass of water before reaching for anything else. It may seem like a small habit, but simple routines like this can make healthy choices almost automatic. Of course, everyone has different needs. Some people with heart failure, kidney disease, or other medical conditions may need to limit their fluid intake. If you've been given specific instructions by your healthcare provider, always follow that advice instead of general recommendations. Now let's talk about something your brain has been waiting for all morning: light. Have you ever noticed how much more awake you feel after stepping outside on a bright morning? That's not just your imagination. Natural light is one of the strongest signals your brain receives each day. When sunlight reaches your eyes not by staring at the sun, but simply by being outdoors, it tells your brain that it's time to become alert. This helps regulate your body's internal clock and supports the production of hormones that influence both wakefulness during the day and sleep at night. Think of natural light as the reset button for your body's daily schedule. When people spend most of the morning indoors with the curtains closed, that signal can become weaker. While artificial lights certainly help us see, natural daylight is generally much brighter and provides a stronger cue for the body's internal timing. This is one reason why many experts recommend spending at least a little time outdoors in the morning when it's practical and safe to do so. Even a short walk, sitting on the porch with your morning drink, or watering the garden can combine movement, fresh air, and daylight into one healthy routine. And here's something interesting. Morning light doesn't just influence how you feel today. By helping your body recognize daytime more clearly, it may also contribute to better sleep later that night. Since quality sleep plays an important role in memory, learning, and overall brain health, this creates a positive cycle that benefits your mind over time. But there's another piece that many people get wrong every morning, and it has nothing to do with exercise or sunlight. It's breakfast. You've probably heard people say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. The truth is a little more balanced than that. Research doesn't suggest that everyone must eat breakfast at exactly the same time or in exactly the same way. People's health conditions, medications, and personal preferences all matter. However, for many older adults, the quality of breakfast can make a noticeable difference in how they feel throughout the morning. Let's compare two breakfasts. The first consists of a large pastry, a sugary cereal, and a sweet coffee drink. The second includes oatmeal topped with berries and nuts, a serving of plain yogurt or eggs for protein, and perhaps a piece of fruit. Both meals provide energy, but they affect the body differently. Meals that are high in added sugars and refined carbohydrates can cause blood sugar to rise quickly and then fall again. Some people describe this as a sugar crash. They may feel sleepy, hungry again sooner, or have difficulty concentrating. On the other hand, meals that include fiber, protein, and healthy fats tend to provide steadier energy. That doesn't mean they're perfect for everyone, but they often help people feel satisfied for longer and avoid dramatic swings in energy. Your brain uses a tremendous amount of energy every single day. In fact, although it makes up only a small percentage of your body weight, it uses a surprisingly large share of your body's energy supply. Giving it a steady source of nutrients may help support attention and mental performance throughout the morning. Another simple strategy is adding colorful fruits and vegetables to your day whenever possible. Blueberries, strawberries, leafy greens, tomatoes, peppers, and many other colorful foods contain natural compounds that researchers continue to study for their potential role in supporting healthy aging. While no single food can prevent memory loss, eating a variety of nutrient-rich foods is part of dietary patterns that have been linked with better long-term brain health. You may have heard about eating patterns like the Mediterranean diet or the MIND diet. These aren't strict short-term diets. They're ways of eating that emphasize vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, nuts, healthy fats like olive oil, fish, and other nutritious foods while limiting heavily processed foods and excess added sugar. Research suggests these overall eating patterns are associated with better heart and brain health, although they don't guarantee protection against disease. Notice something important here. We're not talking about miracle foods. We're talking about consistent habits. That difference matters because advertisements often promise dramatic results from a single supplement or trendy ingredient. Real health rarely works that way. Most experts agree that long-term patterns of eating and living matter far more than searching for one superfood. Now let's discuss a morning habit that many people don't even realize could be working against them. It begins the moment they pick up their phone. For some people, the first 30 minutes of the day are spent scrolling through upsetting news stories, worrying about world events, reading stressful social media posts, or checking emails that immediately create anxiety. Our brains pay close attention to whatever we feed them first. If the first thing your mind receives each morning is stress, your body may respond by releasing stress hormones that prepare you to deal with challenges. That's helpful during genuine emergencies, but starting every single morning this way may leave some people feeling tense before breakfast is even over. Instead, consider giving your brain a gentler start. Perhaps spend a few minutes stretching, reading something uplifting, enjoying quiet conversation with your spouse or family, listening to calming music, or simply sitting outside while noticing the sounds of birds and the fresh morning air. These small moments won't eliminate life's problems, but they may help you begin the day feeling calmer and more focused. And speaking of focus, there's one more morning habit that many people overlook, a habit that supports not only your brain but also your confidence, independence, and ability to stay mentally sharp throughout the years. It's simpler than most people expect, and we'll explore it next. Now let's look at a habit that doesn't involve your muscles at all, yet it can be just as important for healthy brain aging. Keep your brain engaged. Many people think of the brain like a battery that slowly runs down with age. A better way to think about it is as something that benefits from regular use. Just as your muscles respond to activity, your brain responds to mental challenges. That doesn't mean you need to solve difficult puzzles every day or learn advanced mathematics. The best mental activity is often something you genuinely enjoy and will continue doing: reading a book, learning a few words in a new language, playing a musical instrument, trying a new recipe, working on a crossword puzzle, or even taking a different route on your daily walk can encourage your brain to work in new ways. The key word is new. When we repeat the exact same routine every day, our brains become very efficient. That's helpful, but occasionally introducing something different encourages your brain to create and strengthen connections. For example, if you always call the same family member in the evening, try calling in the morning once in a while. If you usually use one hand for simple tasks, carefully practicing with the other hand for safe activities can make your brain pay closer attention. Small changes won't transform your memory overnight, but they remind your brain to stay engaged. Another powerful habit is one that many people underestimate because it seems so ordinary: conversation. Human connection is good for more than emotional well-being. Meaningful conversations require your brain to listen, remember, organize thoughts, and respond. It's a gentle workout for several parts of the brain at once. As people grow older, it's not unusual for social circles to become smaller. Retirement, children moving away, or the loss of friends and loved ones can lead to spending more time alone. While enjoying quiet time is perfectly healthy, long periods of social isolation have been associated with poorer physical and mental health outcomes. That doesn't mean being alone causes dementia. The relationship is much more complex than that, but maintaining social connections is considered an important part of healthy aging. This could be as simple as joining a walking group, attending a community class, volunteering, participating in a place of worship if that's part of your life, or making a regular phone call to a friend or family member. Sometimes the healthiest habit isn't adding something new, it's reconnecting with someone you've been meaning to call. Now, before we finish, let's talk about an important question many viewers may have. How do you know the difference between normal age-related forgetfulness and memory changes that deserve medical attention? Everyone forgets things occasionally. You might misplace your glasses, forget why you entered a room, or need an extra moment to remember someone's name. These experiences become more common as we age and are often not a sign of a serious medical condition. However, there are situations where it's important to speak with a healthcare professional. For example, if memory problems are becoming frequent, are getting noticeably worse, interfere with managing finances or medications, cause someone to become lost in familiar places, make it difficult to follow conversations, or are accompanied by changes in personality or behavior, they should not simply be dismissed. As getting older, it's also important to remember that memory problems can have many possible causes. Poor sleep, depression, anxiety, certain medications, vitamin deficiencies, thyroid disorders, hearing loss, infections, and other medical conditions can all affect thinking and memory. Some of these causes are treatable, which is why getting evaluated early can be so valuable. If you notice concerning changes in yourself or someone you love, don't wait out of fear. Make an appointment with a qualified healthcare professional. Early evaluation doesn't automatically mean a serious diagnosis, but it can help identify what's happening and what steps may be appropriate. As we've discussed today, protecting your brain isn't about finding one miracle solution. It's about building a collection of healthy habits that work together. Starting your morning with gentle movement can help increase blood flow and prepare your mind for the day. Drinking enough water supports normal brain function, especially after a night's sleep. Getting some natural morning light helps reinforce your body's internal clock, which supports healthy sleep and daytime alertness. Choosing a balanced breakfast with fiber, protein, and nutrient-rich foods can provide steadier energy than meals high in added sugar. Giving your brain a calm start instead of immediately filling it with stress may help you feel more focused throughout the day. Continuing to learn new things keeps your mind active, and staying connected with other people supports both emotional well-being and overall healthy aging. None of these habits offers a guarantee. Aging is something we all experience, and no lifestyle can completely remove the risk of memory problems or neurological disease. But together, these evidence-supported habits can help create an environment where your brain has the best opportunity to stay healthy as the years go by. The encouraging news is that you don't have to change everything today. Pick one habit, practice it consistently for a week or two. Once it becomes part of your routine, add another. Small steps repeated day after day often lead to the biggest long-term changes. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope you found something practical that you can use in your own morning routine. Now I'd love to hear from you. How old are you, and which country are you watching from? And which morning habit are you going to try first? Moving more, drinking water earlier, getting outside for some morning light, or making time to challenge your brain each day? If you have a routine that has helped you stay mentally sharp over the years, feel free to share it in the comments. Your experience may encourage someone else in our community. Take care of yourself, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.